Right. Okay, cable on please. Closed. Okay, so we're all good to go. So Barry, I'm going to get you just across your arms and just to grab hold of the seatbelt harness there just by your shoulders.
That's
Probably louder than what I wanted. So the aircraft will actually sort of take up the slack in the rope. Okay, as that rope goes taut, we'll then start to accelerate. And what we're going to do is we're just going to fly. We'll take off just a little bit before the tug aircraft, and we're just going to actually sort of fly just above the ground. There we are, just about off. And we're just going to fly along here. We'll wait for him to take off, and then once he's off the ground, we're just going to follow him up, basically flying in formation. Okay. So what you feel there, a couple of bumps, they're actually thermals.
Oh, okay.
So it's just as we get closer to the ground, that warm air actually bubbles up a lot more, and we sort of get these little bumps, etc. As we climb up higher, you're going to find that it's going to be a lot smoother. So here we are, we just fly basically within a couple of feet of a position behind this tug aircraft. And what I'm doing is I'm just keeping formation. So he's flying the aircraft as stable as he can. And what I'm doing is I'm just using some visual references on that aircraft to fly within 1 or 2 feet. So this is our precision flying time.
Okay.
What do you think of the view, Barry?
It's unusual, isn't it? It's not what you get to see normally.
Yeah. Quite beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I also love, you know, when you're flying, all of these rape fields which are off to our left and right.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. I'm always amazed at actually how much rape there is in the country. You know.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Oh yeah. When you're on the motorway or something like that, you might see the occasional field, but nothing like, you know, everything you see when we're up here.
And it's different when you're looking at it at ground level and the crops are actually up above your head.
Yeah. So we're just coming up to 1,000 feet right now. The airfield is actually behind us. So we always sort of keep a good idea about where our orientation is. And then off to the left, if you look off at about 9 o'clock, can you see some fields with like big golf balls? Yeah. That's actually Crowton, which is a early warning radar base.
Oh, okay.
So that's used by, I think, both our military, the Royal Military, as well as the US military.
Yeah. And that's still active now?
Yep, it's active. And as we come around, I'll show you another, what used to be a US air base here.
Oh.
It's now deactive, but now Barry, if you need any air, there's a little window there on your left-hand side.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're sort of feeling a little bit stuffy or anything else, you can just open up that window by pulling the little knob inwards and then back.
Okay.
And that will give you a lot of air if you wanted.
Okay. It's quite warm in here, isn't it? I see what you mean about sitting in on the ground.
Yeah, it's a bit like a greenhouse. And until you start moving, you know, once you're moving it's okay, but until you're moving it's very warm.
How many loops will he do to get us up to the 3000?
Well, completely up to him. You know, what he'll do is that he won't fly us outside gliding range of the airfield.
Yeah.
But he'll probably go around maybe 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
So we're a bit over 2,000 feet now.
Yep.
So by the time we get towards the airfield, he might do one more turn. But you can see what I said earlier, it's actually quite hazy today.
It is, yeah.
I don't know whether the thunderstorms will actually build up. Just don't think there's probably enough heat getting onto the ground for them to come on.
Yeah. It's been quite warm back where I'm from, and it really did build up very quickly yesterday apparently.
Yeah.
When we left it was glorious weather.
Was it? Okay. Okay, so we're up to 2,800 feet now. We're going to come up to 3,000 feet. So I'm going to release Barry very shortly. When I release, you're going to feel a slight thump.
Yep.
Okay, but I'll give you a warning. I'll count down to us releasing. Okay. So I'm going to release in 3, in 2, in 1. I'm going to release now. There we go. We're at 3,000 feet. He's peeled off, and now it gets much quieter and much nicer.
Very sedate.
So here we are, just a bit above the clouds. You can sort of see those around you.
Yeah.
Nice and clear up above.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah, but it's quite nice, isn't it? I always love this, you know, how quiet it also gets.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So Barry, shall we get you doing some flying?
Yes, why not?
So Barry, I'd like you to put your right hand onto the control stick.
Yep.
Okay, and I want you to follow through with me. And what that means, I just want you to feel how I'm moving the control stick, but I don't want you to resist any movements.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I'm going to, if you look out above or ahead of you, I'll just do a slight turn here to the right. Just want to get a bit more of a visual horizon for you. The way that we fly the aircraft is by reference to basically the horizon or outside.
Yep.
So right now, if you look over the front of the nose, you'll see the relationship between the nose and the horizon,
Yep.
or on a day like today, really the amount of ground that you can see over the front of the nose.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I move the stick forward, you'll see that the nose goes down,
Yep.
more ground comes into view. If you look at your airspeed indicator on the top left-hand side, you'll see that we start to speed up.
Yep.
Okay, and it also gets noisier.
Yep.
Now, if I move the stick back again, you'll see that the nose comes up. Okay, less ground is actually in view. We start to slow down, and we're in a new gliding attitude.
Okay.
Okay, so by moving the stick forward, nose goes down.
Yep.
Okay, moving the stick forward, nose comes up, but we want to sort of keep it at about this attitude. I can bring it up higher, but the aircraft starts to slow down too much, and I need to sort of bring it back to this attitude.
Okay.
So Barry, would you like to give that a try?
Yep.
So you'll have control moving the stick forward and back. I'm going to control it left to right, okay, to keep the wings level. So you've got control of the elevators.
I have
So do you want to move the stick forward? Okay, you can move it forward a bit more than that. Very good. And now just bring it back again. Okay, and about there. Just a little bit further forward. Get that nice gliding attitude about there, yeah. Okay, and just hold it about there. Good. Do you want to try that again? Just move it forward and just play with the elevators a little bit. Yep, very good. So I'm sort of just keeping the wings level as we sort of fly. And you can move the foot back and forwards a couple of times just to get used to that. Okay, So Barry, I have control.
Control.
I want you to leave your hand on the stick and just feel what I'm doing with the stick. So I'm going to show you how we use the ailerons now, okay? I'm going to do a turn to the right. So the very first thing that we do is we actually look out, make sure that we're all clear. So we're going to look all the way from the left, all the way around to the right, and make sure there's no aircraft in the way that we want to move. We're then going to look over the front of the nose. Now I'm going to move the control stick to the right. As I do that, the right wing is going to go down. So I'm going to move it to the right wing goes down, and I centralise it when I've got the angle of bank that I want. Now when I do that, the nose will normally drop a little bit, and I have to apply a little bit of back elevator just to keep the nose from dropping.
Okay.
When I want to straighten up, okay, I move the control stick towards the outside wing, and as the wings become level, I centralise the stick and I release the amount of back pressure, okay, that I was holding before.
Okay.
So let me just demonstrate that again. I'm going to just do a turn to the left. So we look out all the way from the right, all the way around to the left, making sure there's no other aircraft in the direction we're going to turn. Look over the front of the glider, of the nose, move the stick to the left, centralise it when we've got the angle of bank that we want, stop the nose dropping away, we apply just a little bit of back elevator. When we want to straighten up, move the stick towards the upside wing and centralise it as the wings become forward, and then just release the back pressure on the elevator. So Barry, would you like to give that a try?
Yep.
Okay, so you have control of both the elevators as well as the ailerons. So why don't you do a turn to the right for us? So look to the left, all the way around to the right, okay, and then move the stick over to the right. Very good. Centralise the stick about there, and then just a little bit of back pressure on the elevator, stop the nose dropping. Yeah, very good. Not too much, just relax a little bit of pressure. Yeah, very good. And just keep us going around in that turn. And you can sort of see it doesn't need much movement.
No.
So why don't you straighten us up there, move the stick across to the left, as the wings become level, centralise the controls, and just relax that back pressure on the stick. So just stick forward a little bit more. Very good. So, you're flying, sir. I've got my hands off the stick. Where would you like to fly us?
I think I'll try a left turn if that's
okay. Very good. So, look out to the right, all the way around to the left. We're all clear, so stick across to the left. Centralise it when you've got the angle of bank that you want. Stop the nose dropping, just a little bit of back pressure. Okay, and then when you want to straighten up, stick across to the right. Okay, and as the wings become level, centralise the stick and also relax the amount of back pressure. That's very good, Barry. That was a really nice turn, actually. So you're doing all the flying now. Our field is off to the right. We're still within good glide ratio of it. Okay, so we've got no other aircraft around us right now. So where would you like to fly us now? Why don't you do a right-hand turn for us?
Okay.
All the way to the left, all the way around to the right. Move the stick across to the right. Centralise it when you've got enough bank angle, and then just stop that nose dropping away, just a little bit of back elevator, and then yep, as it comes back to that normal gliding attitude, you just relax it once again.
See glider underneath us to the front.
Oh yep, okay, I've got him. That's good, thank you for pointing that one out. He's coming back. It's the acro, he's supposed to be on a bit of a cross country. He doesn't look like he's getting very far. So you can see the field, it's right out in front of us underneath the nose.
Yep.
So we're in a good position there. We don't seem to have too many thermals, which are rising columns of air, and typically they've got clouds above them.
Yep.
So I think the air's a little bit soft today. So why don't you do a turn to the right for me, Barry? So look out to the left, make sure it's all clear, all the way around to the right, stick across to the right. Yep, centralise it when you've got the angle of bank that you want, and then just a little bit of back stick. Okay, yep, stick across to the left, make sure it doesn't get too tight. Very good. Very good. Now the acro's there on the right.
Yep.
Just do another turn to the right for me, please, Barry. Look to the left, all the way around to the right, and turn to the right. Now what I'm looking for, yep, just keep it coming around. I was actually looking to see whether he's got any lift, and he doesn't, so let's just straighten up there. Very good. So Barry, you're doing all of this flying, by the way. I've got my hands off completely.
You idiot.
No, I trust you completely.
You fool.
No, you're doing a great job actually. Why don't you do a turn around to the left for me? Look to the right and all the way around to the left. And just a bit of back pressure on the stick. Make sure that nose doesn't drop away too much. Stick across to the left a bit more and we'll keep that turn going all the way. Yep. Very good. Okay, so Barry, I have control.
Okay, you have control.
Okay, so why don't you sit and relax?
Excellent.
Okay, we're coming down to 1200 feet, so we've got another couple of minutes. But you may as well just relax a little bit and enjoy the scenery.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a shame it's not really clear and it's a bit hazy, but still stunning.
Oh yeah, yeah, beautiful country, and when you sort of see it up here, you sort of really appreciate what a stunning country we live in.
Yeah. Your accent doesn't sound 100% local though.
Nope, it's not. So I'm going to do a turn to the right, because we might actually have a little bit of lift just coming off here.
Okay.
So Barry, I'll get you to keep your hand off the controls if you don't mind, and just clear of them.
Yep.
No, probably not enough lift to keep us going, unfortunately. What we do is that when we find lift, it's a rising column of air, and we can actually fly around in circles to keep us in that column.
Okay.
Got a little bit of lift, but really not enough to keep us flying.
Okay.
Feeling all okay?
Yes, good.
Good, very good. So we're going to turn around here to the left. Now we're coming down through 1,000 feet.
Okay.
And as we come down through 1,000 feet, I'm going to start to get ready to actually land.
Okay.
We won't be landing yet, but I do all of my checks nice and early just to make sure everything is actually good.
Yep.
So the very first thing that we're going to check is that we're not carrying any water. We're not. Our undercarriage is down and locked. Your straps are still nice, tight and secure.
Yep.
And my straps are still nice and tight and secure. We're in a good position. We've got the acro there just on our left at about 11 o'clock. He started his downwind leg.
Yep.
So we're going to fly out here a little bit. And we're just going to maneuver here. We'll just give him a bit of distance. And then we're also going to go in and we're going to land.
Okay. What do you mean by acro?
That's just a type of glider.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we've got some lift there, so let's see if we can... Now the way that I tell this lift is that I feel it, okay, and then I confirm it on the instruments whether we're actually in a lift.
Okay.
Okay, and we're in about half a knot of lift there, so we're at 850 feet. We're dropping out. I've just got a little bit of lift. What we're trying to do is we're just trying to find where the center of that lift is to stay in it. It's not going to be very strong, but it will keep us in the air for a bit longer. So we started this at about 850 feet and we're still at about 850 feet. So we're not losing any altitude, but we're not really gaining anything either.
But it extends the pleasure a little.
Yes, that's exactly right, and that's what we're trying to do. And this is of course how we climb higher. You know, when we find powerful thermals, we can climb quite high, but that one's really not giving us anything. So we're going to give that one away. We're going to position ourselves here. We're at 800 feet. We're at the high key point. We've got our airfield off to the left. We've done our checks, so we're all set to go in and land. So Barry, what I'm going to get you to do is just to cross your arms once again, hold on to your shoulder harness. That just gives you sort of a little bit of extra sort of security. Now we're going to fly the downwind leg here. And we're looking at our airfield off to the left, and we're also looking at the angle to the airfield, how far we are and what our height actually is. And as we sort of come into here, we do a 45-degree turn. Okay, and as we're sort of flying this circuit, we're also looking out for any other aircraft, and I can't see any. There's a couple of them thermaling up above us to the right, but they're well out of the way for us. We're in a good position here. And we're going to turn around here. This is what we call our base. And then we've got one more turn, and then we're going to actually come into a final. Now, the handle, the blue handle down by your left knee, I'm going to be using in a moment, Barry.
Okay.
So just be careful of your knee, that it doesn't bump your knee.
Yep.
Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to descend here, and as we sort of get closer to the ground, and we've got a person walking across.
Yep.
Hopefully they might see us and run. But they're not doing anything, are they? So I'm going to land long.
Okay.
And now they take a photograph.
Thanks a lot. That's a better landing than you get on an aircraft normally.
I'm sorry?
That's a better landing than you get on a normal aircraft.
Oh yes. We try to make them very nice. How was that, sir?
That's absolutely brilliant.